It would beat in your blood like drumming under the ground. Memory seeped and frayed there, where ghosts stood silent by fence posts. There the bone horse kept pace with night drivers, while high branches shifted continuously even on breathless days, and creaked with the passage of megarities or other creatures unseen, and at midday long shadows whispered under the trees. And what trees! Bottle and box, paper and iron, thorned and blossomed under the unutterable light, the sky blue as breath, as enamel or beaten like copper. Everything beneath it turned to metal, or else translucent. Trees like lanterns, like candles, ghosts and bones. The fibrous skeletons of moth-slain cactus and beetle-eaten lantern bush leaned over the opal-veined bulk of petrified limbs spilled in empty creek beds. Trees bled resin like rubies, sprouted goitrous nests, suspended cat's cradles of spiderwebs, spinning discs of silk. Trees towered hard as bronze in still sunlight, and stirred like a living hide in the rolling advent of a storm. If you were born to Runagate, with all its fragile propriety, its tidy civilization, its ring fence of roads and paddocks, wires and blood, there was nothing else in the world beyond but trees. Chapter 1. Lemon Tree and Lantern Bush. My mother, pale, delicate Bettina Scott, who wilted like a garden in the heat of the day, did not like to speak of or even look at the trees beyond Runagate. Our front garden, the prettiest kept on Upper Spicer Street, the handsomest street in Runagate, contained nothing native to the ground from which we daily coaxed and tortured it. It was decent, tidy, and ornamental, and like my mother, gracious. Though she always sent me to borrow books for her on homemaking and manners and inspiring true stories, she didn't need them. Bettina Scott was as naturally elegant as a lily. I, in contrast, had reached the age of 19, graceless and unlovely despite our best efforts. There was too much of my father in me. "But you're a good girl, aren't you?" said my mother, catching my hand with slender fingers when I stood to clear the lunch dishes. Her nails were smooth and petal pink. "Yes, Mother," I assured her. As I washed the plates, I concentrated on scrubbing out a little more, too, of that old childish self, the restless temper, the loose-limbed insolence I had got from my mocking father and unloving brothers, an unflattering pretension to cleverness, unlearning the habits gained during the useless, featureless years I had spent at Runagate State School before I had to grow up, before I chose to. "Nothing," she liked to say, "is as unattractive as a woman with a little education, is it, Bettina?" And I had spent 3 years resolutely becoming responsible and civilized and winsome. A strong will has its uses. That day, like nearly every day, was bright. My mother, her eyes already green-shadowed with tiredness, settled to sleep. My mind quiet, I swept the kitchen to the companionable hum of the refrigerator, the midday crooning of red hens scratching beneath the lemons that hung in the backyard. Lemons the size of ox hearts, thick-rinded, brilliant and knobby, luminous among the glossy green. They were not, I think, the shapely fruit my mother had expected, but she did not want to replace the tree. The scent wandered through the house. I would have gone and gathered armfuls of fragrant leaves, but my mother, in one of her few deviations from her magazines, considered cut arrangements gauche. I washed my face and hands, carefully cleaned the dirt from beneath my nails, added the faintest of colours to my cheeks and lips, brushed the thick, dull bob of my hair over the thread-thin scar almost invisible on my cheek, a childhood injury forgotten, and straightened my skirt and blouse. My mother might be asleep, might not love her petty parochial neighbours, but in Runagate she would certainly hear if I went out looking as if I had no one to care for me. There had been no car at our house since the night my father left. My mother had barred my brothers from repairing their battered ute in the driveway, and in any event, Mitch and Chris had soon gone too. But under the pressure of the midday sun, as I wheeled my yellow bicycle to the front gate, opened it,